Falcons fans, welcome into another great edition of FalconZone. I'm your host, Jeremy the Impact York from Impact Media. Yeah, we are late in the week getting this out, but I still wanted to get it out for you guys. We are going to talk about all things Falcons here on FalconZone, as we always do. If you want to follow the show or leave us a question, comment, suggestion, rating, review, treasure map, whatever you want to leave us, cookie recipe from your grandma, we're okay with all of that. Please go to impact_media_ or any of the social medias, the Impact 99. You can find me. Leave us all that. Or if you see us out somewhere, we are headed to the premier wrestling show in Buchanan later tonight. So if you see us on Saturday, please come by and say hello or tell us what you did or didn't like about the show. All right. So let's start. Here. Falcons improved to 1-1 by on Sunday Night Football beating the Minnesota Vikings 22-6. Don't adjust your screen. Because earlier in the week, the Falcons made this decision that Young Hoku was not going to dress for the game. I don't think he went on the plane to Minnesota. They brought in Parker Romo, who they had tried out that week or the week before. And they said, let's see what the kid can do. Little did he know that he was going to kick 6 different times, 5 for field goals and 1 for an extra point. He hit all of them, including a 54-yarder. He accounted for 16 of the 22 points that they put up. And so if you don't know already, just a couple of days ago, Young Hoku was released. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Not saying there's not a chance for him to come back somewhere down the road. He will catch on with somebody. He's a very good kicker. He just went through a weird down period here. And this is a team that needs to put it on him. So Parker Romo is your new Falcons kicker. Like I said, he went 5 for 5, including the 54-yarder and the extra point. Because the touchdown went to Tyler Algier, who rushed for 76 yards behind the 143 from Bijan Robinson. Now, why would they run for so much? Because everybody says, oh, Michael Penix only threw the ball 21 times. He was 13 for 21 for 135. And no touchdowns. Hey, no interceptions. He sacked 3 times, which was part of why we started running the ball. Because the way Minnesota was attacking is they were either rushing up front really quickly. Let's do it more like this. What do you see when you see this? Do you see the gap? Do you see the gap? Or they were rushing this way. And if you rush this way, what does that leave open? The Falcons are smart enough, and they have the personnel to go, well, if they're going to rush this way and leave these gaps open, or if they're going to rush this way and leave those same gaps open, I'm going to run my 2 horses as hard through those as I can and run it down their throat until they find a way to fix it. Guess what? They didn't fix it. You ran for over 200 yards because the Minnesota Vikings couldn't figure out you're running through the same friggin' gap. This is a team that's supposed to be on your level. Everybody says Minnesota and Atlanta are teams that are going to sneak up on people. Minnesota's not. They're not right now. I like J.J. McCarthy as good as anybody. Hey, any Wolverine's good in my book. But my goodness, this should have been a close matchup. In fact, Minnesota should have been a lot closer into it because you got beat by 5 field goals. You actually got beat by 3 because by the time the third one hit, you didn't get more than that. But even before Algier ran it in, you got beat by the backup running back and the kicker. The backup running back and the kicker. That's how good the Falcons are, by the way, depth-wise. Was they banded together and beat the Vikings. I'm not going to say by themselves because it's a team effort. Without the blocking, without the other people around them, hey, Algier doesn't score. Without the blocking and everything in front of him, well, those field goals don't go in. But the Atlanta Falcons, folks, are a really good football squad. And you know what good football squads do? They find ways to win. Because they start looking, they go, man, we just can't get in the end zone. Man, we just can't get in the end zone. Kick a field goal. Kick another field goal. Kick 3 more. Then you get your opportunity to score. And you win the game 22-6 on Sunday Night Football. You were the lone game. You're the only game on TV. Nobody else is watching. and you're on the road. You embarrass Minnesota at their home on a Sunday night when no other thing was on. There might have been an award show, but nobody watches those. You beat them in their house. Congratulations. Congratulations, Falcons. That's the kind of win you're gonna have this year. You're gonna have your blowouts. You're gonna have you might be on the other side of a blowout once or twice. But where this team is, they are at a spot where you're gonna have to win ugly sometimes. You're gonna have to win with sometimes you win with 5 field goals. That's fine. What did both those sentences have in the word? They had the word win. You had to win. Eating those W's like Jameis talks about. You won the game. You're 1-1, and you beat the Minnesota Vikings. So now if they get good by the end of the year, you can go, we beat a really good team at their house on a Sunday night. What's more embarrassing than losing at home when you're the only standalone game on primetime? There's not much. There's not, I mean, I guess you could be the Cleveland Browns, but I mean, they're kind of respectable at that. Minnesota got to get their act together because they had a good week 1, they did in week 2. They got to figure that out. But let's see. I told you that. I told you their yards. London and Pitts and Mooney were trying to get open. And look, Minnesota's got some corners. They got some defensive backs. They make it really, really hard to get on the board. And so that's why London and Pitts and Mooney just didn't really get it going. Like I said, the Falcons realized, okay, we're having trouble throwing the ball. It's not our quarterback. It's not our running back. It's not our wide receivers. Not the blocking even. It's that team on the other side, the other professionals too. So let's just focus. Well, what are we doing really well? We're running the ball. Well, let's just keep doing that. And when they start trying to stop that, well, that'll open up the pass game. Well, Minnesota never stopped it. So you didn't have to. You just keep doing it. It's that easy. You just keep doing what you're doing. I'm not concerned with the London fumble or anything like that. I like that Mike Ford Jr. and Divine Diablo both picked up one. That always helps. Zach Harrison and Brandon Dorless, along with Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., and Leonard Floyd and Rook Ororo, all with partial sacks, if not full sacks. 6 sacks from the Falcons. It would have took them 6 or 7 weeks last year to get that. I don't know that did they average a sack a game last year? I thought they finished with like 10. It felt like that. But they're getting after the quarterback. And not just that, not only is Jalen and Jalen Walker and Leonard Floyd and all them getting after him. The rookie DBs were getting interceptions. Xavier Watts and Bowman Jr., your draft picks are hitting. And them playing better is allowing your veterans to be the veteran players they are. And so you're just doing that much better. Everything is falling into place. I'm not saying it's the most perfect thing ever, and it's a foregone conclusion. It's not. You still have to play, 14 more games, 15 more games, I think. You have to play 15 more games to decide what is going on. But I'm telling you, Falcons fans, if you're not excited by this, then you need to check your pulse. This team is really doing something. They're showing you they can win multiple ways. Their defense is showing you they can get after people. They can cause turnovers. They can put quarterbacks on their back. Not on their back here, no, on their back, and lay them out. I don't even have anything to say about the special team. I thought special teams played a heck of a game. But I thought they did really well. We look into the standings, because of course we need to look into the standings. It didn't help that you lost week 1, because Tampa won theirs too. So they've got you by a game right now. But New Orleans and Carolina, they're not both terrible, but they're both 0-2. You need to keep the pace. I'm still thinking Carolina's probably the number 3 team out of all these, but it's between Tampa and Atlanta is where it's going to be. If one of them falters, maybe the Panthers figure out a way up. But New Orleans is in a heap of trouble. They are, man, they're having trouble in the Bayou. But who do you got this week? Let's get to it, right? Where? There it is. Week 3, the Atlanta Falcons are facing the Panthers. And you're doing it in Carolina. Well, what you just did to Minnesota, you should be able to do the Panthers. Because what are the Panthers really good at? Their defense. They've got some young players on offense, but their defense, they beefed it up in the last couple of years. They're going to have they're going to have a similar pass rush. They're going to be coming straight at you this way, or they're going to try to hit the edges. What do? You run it down those gaps. The Panthers also have some defensive backs that are, they're pretty good too. So this may be another game that, you win by field goals, but it looks like this Romo fellow can actually kick. And it's not personal to Koo. He did some spectacular things, but sometimes if you're not doing your job effectively, what does your job do? You move on to the next person. It's an unfortunate part of life. It's probably happened to me. It's probably happened to you. It happens to people everywhere. But you know what you do if you're that person that gets replaced? Well, you go somewhere else and shine. And I think Koo's going to do that, just like I think any of you guys are going to do that. If you leave one place, I think you're going to go to the next and you're going to be superstars. Not just because you're fans of this show, but because I believe in you. And hopefully you believe in yourself. But as far as this game, it's going to be the 1 p.m. Fox game here locally. I can't wait to get back and watch it. Let's see. Atlanta is a 5.5 point favorite. Well, you got to think you get 3 points in the NFL for being at home. So they actually think the Falcons are a 8.5 point favorite if they played this in my backyard or on the moon in a neutral place. I think that's just a tad high. I would say 6.5 is fair. I think they'll win by at least a score. They might win by 10. But I think the Falcons, if they continue to play their game, I'm actually going to predict Bijan runs for over 100 and Algier runs for 50 plus and a score. I think they both have a score. I'm going to say this game is going to be Falcons 24, Panthers 17. I like that. I think they're going to get a score. I think Panthers are going to get a score at the end. It's going to make it look really close. But I'll be honest, I'd very much like it if they didn't. 24-10 sounds really good too. I think 24-17 is probably more accurate. So we'll go with that. But I got a Falcons victory. Hopefully you do too. We reached the end of FalconZone. Got pretty much everything we were going to talk about going. It will be at a different time next week. It will not be this late in the week. But I appreciate all of you guys tuning into us each and every week here on FalconZone. We are going to have some fun people on in the very near future, I promise you. But until then, we will see you guys next week. Deuces, gooses. Go Falcons.